Hey. Welcome to the Reasonable Wrestling Podcast. I am your boy CT, Chitty Bang, and I'm here with the Most High, Chris.
What's going on?
Say what's up. We're bringing to you today our first character spotlight, Mr. Adam Cole, the one and only leader of Undisputed Era. He is the NXT North American champion, and we figured that we just got to do a spotlight on this guy. He's been on my radar pretty much since he came from NXT. I haven't checked out his old stuff. Chris, when were you introduced to Adam Cole? Like, when was he on your radar?
To be honest, I started probably paying attention to him closer, maybe 2015. I think that was his PWG run, Ring of Honor run.
Yeah, he's been wrestling for a while. He's been wrestling since 2007, 2008. You know, training in 2007 and 2008, he kind of like got into the business.
I definitely wasn't checking for him then.
Me neither, honestly. But
yeah, so
he's been in the business for 10 years.
I mean,
put that out there.
Shout out! I mean, again, it's 28 years old. I'm 28, so shout out to all the 28-year-olds trying to make something happen, change the world. Adam Cole is definitely changing the world. It's the reason why we're here, character spotlight. He's just captivating as a character, and that's why we're here. We caught on to him. NXT. He definitely. I was in Brooklyn when he made his debut. The crowd popped. I popped.
Tell us how it was, the energy of when he came out. Because I remember all night we knew that he might show up, and it's like everybody was on edge. It seemed, because I wasn't there, and you felt the energy of him being there. So please tell us about how that.
So by being there, it was definitely a vibe in the arena. Went through a whole show. It was a great show last year. Brooklyn show was fantastic. But Drew winning the title was kind of like anticlimactic almost. And Adam Cole gave that rush. Earlier in the night, Red Dragon or Super Dragon, whichever name they're going by, Colorado and Bobby Fish, they made their presence known. So it was like, so we were on edge waiting for Adam Cole, and he made his appearance. It was massive pop. And we waited for great things to happen. He's produced nothing but great things. So
when he debuted, I heard some rumblings about him coming, and I've always seen Adam Cole around. I just didn't pay attention to him. I knew people who loved him, and I remember going back and watching a couple of his matches before he came into NXT. And I'll tell you right now, like, I personally wasn't a huge fan. I thought he was a good worker, and I just thought, okay, he's good. But then again, I didn't watch everything he did. But since his time at NXT, I personally have come around on him big time. I think it's genius bringing him in with Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish the same night, and having them jump Drew McIntyre, and him with that just air of confidence. I saw something in him that night. I was like, okay, this guy, he can be a main event player, but I wasn't sure. I still wasn't like on his side in fully,
I can completely agree with you with that. I know what kind of captivated me into the character almost was, so 2015 was, independent scene was just booming. Wrestling had its renaissance. It was booming. But his 2016, early 2017 run with the Bullet Club, where he was kind of like the main player. I mean, of course, Kenny Omega is the bout master or whatever his name is. Kenny was the worker. The Bucks was the spot show or the spot fest. But Adam Cole, like, his story of infiltrating the elite and and it got me thinking, like, man, like he's really like this. He's really slimy.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? It gave me feels um, of Edge almost. You know what I mean? How he
absolutely.
was just like an ultimate manipulator. You know what I mean? When he saw opportunity, it didn't matter who he had to kind of corrupt to get to it. His
Yeah,
end game was
by
always
any which way. I remember I was
yeah.
watching like I was watching a match on NXT with Adam Cole, and I forget what match it was, but I think Mar Morales said he will take any. He never met
He never
a
met a shortcut
shortcut he
that
wouldn't
he'd
take,
take. Yeah.
and that's
That
pretty
was
much
the
it.
ladder match,
That
actually.
was that ladder
That
match.
was the
Okay,
ladder match. Yeah,
yeah,
I think that was the call of the ladder
yeah,
match.
and it was really pretty much embodies the character of Adam Cole. He's never going to see a shortcut he won't take. And one thing that I that brought me over to his side is that he knows how to use his size to an advantage. It's like as if because we all know WWE is the land of giants. It's the land of giants. To make it in WWE, you have to look the part. And a guy like Adam Cole, you could go and say, hey, he doesn't look the part of a wrestler, but the fact that he is a smaller dude who fans could think, oh, maybe I could take this guy, and then this guy still comes out on top, it makes his character even more developed, in my opinion. Because the way he goes about his tactics in the ring, the way he is so cocky and arrogant and slimy, it plays a bigger factor into his size to me because it shows that with all that, his all of that weakness, he still is a brash, attitudinal prick that won't back down, and not only won't back down, but will find the slimiest, slickest way to get what he needs to accomplish done. And I gotta tip my cap to him. I kind of came around during that ladder match too.
I definitely believe that having an element, the layer of being able to really be despised. His
Uh-huh.
Aleister Black feud, his Aleister Black feud was very in that way diabolical to where Aleister Black was like, all right, listen, it's more than just competition. I'm about to beat this guy's ass. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because Adam was just in his way of going about things was so you knocked me out of the tournament, I can't get my title
Yeah.
shot, which is a great story to tell.
He had motivation,
Definitely.
and that's why NXT builds things so intricately into weaves because they told a story where the heel is not just being a heel for no reason, and I see a guy like Adam Cole with the heel with a means to an end, almost. You kind of don't know what to expect with him, but he will weasel his way out of any such scenario, and on his path to greatness.
Especially to get on top. Pause. In the ladder match, it was a spot where him and EC3 was working together, and you knew very shortly that that partnership was going to end very abruptly, and it did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Adam Cole used EC3 to get the rest of the guys out the way.
Yeah.
EC3 did some things that was just like, okay, now it's
obnoxious as his EC3 is,
and then Adam Cole gets him out, and the fact that Adam Cole's a heel but gets a babyface pop is because of psychology.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Once everybody's down in the ring, he takes a split second, gets his cheap pop, does his Adam Cole baby, grabs the ladder, and instantly goes up the ladder to get the belt and or the title. Excuse me,
and
Vince, if you're listening to this.
And you can hear the electricity when people think that, oh my God, Adam Cole might just get this belt. And every time he gets close, you hear the roar of the crowd. And it's that match, I kind of figured out that Adam Cole's even better than I thought he was. Like I was telling you, I didn't watch his stuff, but seeing pieces of him, I thought he was like a high flyer type dude. I thought he was a type of guy who does dives,
like a cruiserweight.
Yeah. And when he came up, I was like, okay, so he's not. And I was confused. I was like, why do people like him so much? but it's all the little things that he does.
Yes.
Like when he's climbing that ladder and they powerbomb Lars Sullivan down, he's the only one standing up on the ladder, mind you, perfect position. He stops a beat. It takes a beat. He looks at the crowd, looks at the hard camera, eyes wide open, eyebrows raised, and he goes to get the title. And he's like, "Oh my God, I might be able to get this thing." And he goes up, but he gets stopped. And that moment right there, it's a visual that emotes and gets a feeling out of the audience in a way that's like it's authentic. You can see, oh my God, he's thinking what I'm thinking right now. He can get this belt.
Yeah, because honestly, the place in the building, I was there to not put myself over, but I was at that NXT too in New Orleans, and the betting odds I think was Ricochet. I mean, it was at I don't know, but most people was like, hey, Ricochet's here, let's go ahead and put him over.
Yeah, I was curious. I thought Ricochet might win it.
I thought Ricochet was going to win it. He comes out, he gets he does his thing, and when Adam Cole knocks Ricochet off, a little bit further down in the match, when he knocks Ricochet off the ladder, and then Adam Cole's really up there by himself, and he grabs the belt and he snatches it down, and you can just the elation.
You can see the elation in that scream, even though they didn't get it.
Oh yeah, man. I don't know who the director in the truck was, but you got to get Adam Cole celebrating on top of the ladder after winning his first championship.
It was really the Adam Cole baby taunt, where he was just about to do it, and then it cut right when he was doing it on screen. So if you go back and check that match out, you don't get the visual shot, but it was an incredible match. I think there was so much psychology in that. It told the story of within a ladder match, and I just got to tip my cap to all those guys. Shout out to Velveteen, shout out to Ricochet, shout out to Lars, shout out to Killian Dane. You guys stole the fucking show. And they had, to me, that's like in my top 3 ladder matches of all time. But getting back to Adam Cole specifically, and we talked about his facials in that match. We talked about his sliminess. But the man can move, He's not like just some guy who's stiff and short but can't move. His pacing in a match, I saw a match with him back, I don't know what year it was, but him and AJ Styles had this match, I believe, and it really showcased his ability to work. The pacing of the match, he's there, and with AJ Styles, you got to take him beat for beat. Like, if he's gonna flip and you need to land within him and the turnbuckle, you got to get there and get in that pocket. So I see the way he worked that match. Of course, he's a heel and he does it in such a great way. In that match, he grabs he spits in AJ Styles' hand before the match even begins. Like, they're supposed to handshake, and he spits in his hand. But it was a great match. There's 2 guys who can sell their ass off, so they're hitting each other hard as fuck, shot for shot, blow for blow, and selling for each other. So it just looked like these guys are putting each other through the fucking ringer in this match.
I definitely like the fact that they both can make each other look good, better. It's impossible to kind of make AJ Styles look better than what he is, but with Adam Cole, like that, the same way with his Jay Briscoe match. I think both of those happened in 2015, where there was
that ladder match,
and Adam Cole just bringing something out of his opponent, that just makes his opponent just want to beat the shit out of him. Adam Cole and Jay Briscoe put their bodies on the line. I was gonna say Adam Cole protects himself fairly well, but you can't really do that when you have a match with Jay Briscoe.
You can't really. If you're gonna be in a match with Jay Briscoe, you're gonna get hurt.
Yeah. That's just
you're gonna feel it in the morning.
Definitely. But he takes a few ladder spots. Briscoe blades, or it might be Hardway, whatever. It's definitely color in the match. And Adam Cole gets knocked off the ladder, take a back bump off the ladder. Briscoe's on the ladder by himself, and he's about to grab the championship. And Adam Cole is just like, "Hey, Briscoe, fuck you, you pussy." I'm not too sure
on the mat.
Said,
but Briscoe's on.
But it was definitely middle finger.
Yeah, middle fingers done. Said he's just saying, "Fuck you." Briscoe's like just steps away from grabbing the belt, and it's like, oh
Just
man, you
step up,
dumbass,
yeah,
just
I'm
go grab the belt, win the match. I think it was the TV title and the ROH championship on the line. But Briscoe's such a he's such a hothead that he climbs back down the ladder to beat Adam Cole's ass.
That's the psychology of Adam Cole knowing his competitor. Like, he knew that he couldn't really, like, even his match with AJ, he couldn't really get in AJ's head. So he had to try to, okay, I can't really possibly out wrestle him, but if he wrestles me, I have to be on my game.
Yeah.
I have to kind of muddy this up a little bit, which he did. He did the wheelbarrow out on the on the outside of the ring to soften up AJ, just to get it a little bit more grimier. And that match with Jay Briscoe, like, it was kind of an Adam Cole match per se, where it was a anything goes, like, I got any means necessary type thing.
He definitely shines in these like hardcore environments, and there's like no rules, because you think that a guy like that would be shy away from all the bumps.
Remember when William Regal said that him and Aleister Black match was going to be a street fight, and he gave that the facial expression. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. The camera shows him like,
exactly.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And that's something, again, character.
You can't teach that. Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah, never mind.
There's real ones out there. Just know. But no,
you can't teach the way that he expresses his character on screen. He gets at his production. There's a lot of wrestlers out there that don't get that. It's actually a play. It's actually a production. You got to show the people all the way back in the seat 1,000 what you're feeling, through your actions and through the way you move, the way he sells even, So we're saying that he worked with AJ in a beat for beat match, wrestling type match. It shows they can do that, but then you talked about the Aleister Black versus Jay Briscoe. The Aleister Black and Jay Briscoe matches where they are more hardcore environments, and he gets down and gritty in those too. He takes bumps that honestly, I'm shocked that he takes them for his size. But you told him, you mentioned that they're safe.
Even like, so the ladder bump, okay, so I don't know how he protected himself with the same spot with Jay Briscoe. Like I said, you just go in the Jay Briscoe match and just hope that you can walk after it. But with the Aleister,
in that ladder, he's like,
but with the Aleister Black, he did the same spot. But when Aleister threw him, if you pay attention to how he took the bump, he took it on his legs and then slid down on his back. And
it still looks painful. It looks great.
It looks great, but he's protecting himself because at the same time, like, okay, my leg is going to take the punishment. I don't need my shoulders or my back or possibly my head whiplash taking that bump, for the sake of. And I just see, even in the ladder match, he took the Michinoku driver from Killian Dane onto Ricochet, and that was protected, where it was almost like, Killian Dane did more of the force,
kind of carried
away. Yeah. Down, he didn't take any unnecessary bumps.
Nothing significant, but he definitely shows it on his face that it is significant.
Exactly.
So if he's safe, and then he sells it like, oh my God, I just got hit by a car, that's. Remember he was on Killian Dane's back, and he did the splash onto.
Oh yeah, the Killian Dane did the Vader bomb. Did the Vader bomb? Oh, the big
was it onto EC3?
It was onto EC3
onto a ladder. It was really dope, but Adam Cole kind of just lands on Killian Dane's back, but he lands on him and then he holds his stomach like as if he just got like the worst type of spear from Goldberg ever in his life, and rolls out the ring. And that's how you gotta do it. You gotta show everybody what like the pain you're going through and emote. And so
even with the pain, like he in the celebration when he gets up, like so he knows it's a production because it is a production. So he shows his pain through the production as they go towards he's at the top of the stage and he's trying to celebrate. And he can't even necessarily celebrate because the belt is not going to stay on. He can't necessarily.
He's wincing in pain, holding his abs, his stomach, as he's trying to hold the belt, and he can't even hold it up.
But as he does that, the moment's not too big.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He looks around, he takes it in, he has the championship on his shoulders, and he's like,
Yeah, I knew this was gonna
man,
happen.
this
Kind of
is
like it's for a long
this
conclusion.
this is what this 10 years is for.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? This is what the 10 years of grind is for. That's the same as when Kevin Owens wins the Universal Championship
yeah,
and they take a picture together because both he's Universal Champ, Kevin Owens Universal Champion, Adam Cole's ROH champion,
yeah.
and there's like, man, we're champions
At the
in
top of the industries.
And again, it's a work. We know champions are predetermined, but it when you get a championship, it kind of shows what the company thinks about you.
Absolutely.
So when Adam Cole was blessed to have this revived WWF North American Championship, this cool Ric Flair NWA-esque championship, he's crowned the inaugural winner. Like, that's pretty,
Absolutely.
And then that goes with he has a new shirt out, so he's it's a bump. It's again, it's the employee of the month, and I'm gonna give you a gift card type thing. It's validation that
it's payoff from all the hard work you put in, whether you've been on the indies, whether you've been in the performance center, and shout out to everybody in the performance center. Shout out to all the indie guys out there, because I know you're on the road doing your thing, and it seems like you'll never get to where you're going. We're doing the same thing in our lives over here, and that's why we look at you guys as inspiration. So when we see a guy like Adam Cole, even though for me I didn't know of him before with his indies, for his indie fans though, I can imagine when he holds that North American Championship, what that means. Yeah, they knew what it took for him to get there. They watched him the whole ride, and they're like, man, he actually did it.
And
it's
that
very
goes to the whole clique too, because Bobby's a great worker, and I know he's hurt right now, but Bobby's a really great worker. Kyle O'Reilly, man, go back if people want to watch something. Kyle O'Reilly versus Aleister Black. Oh yeah, before he was in Undisputed. Okay. This was before Kyle O'Reilly was signed big time. That match was phenomenal.
So it was Tommy End at the time.
No, it was Aleister. It was before it was Undisputed.
Oh, okay.
I think this was actually even before, because Kyle O'Reilly was in NXT before. Was in NXT.
Yeah, that's right. Before Bobby Fish and Adam Cole.
Fish and Adam Cole.
Yeah, for a little while.
Yeah,
he got a couple matches.
Yeah, so So Kyle is a great worker. Yeah. I love his work. Roddy. His. Oh man, I wanted him to go over Bobby Roode and win the championship, especially in front of his family.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, we appreciate those guys and that work and stuff like that. So when it comes to Adam Cole reaching that ladder, it's the proverbial brass ring. Yeah. That, hey, you may be a fixture in this company, and by being a fixture in this company, you're going to make us and you a whole hell of a lot of money, and you're going to be this rock star that you wanted to be when you was performing in front of 200 people.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just the beginning for him. That's what's so cool about it.
It's just the beginning.
It's just the beginning. So we, the reason why I wanted to do this so badly, this Adam Cole episode, because I literally looked at him like a small cruiserweight guy, and he's turned my opinion around so hard, so fast, so quickly in his short time being at NXT. And I see him as a guy who can potentially be a main eventer, even with his size not being what they quintessentially go for.
And I'm not saying we're Vince, but I mean, just think about it. If if we have that mindset, imagine that's Vince as well. Vince is like, God damn it, bro, it's tiny.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then, he sees a crowd, chant Adam Cole, baby. And he's in that building.
Yeah, he has to see it.
He's in that building.
He has to know.
And
like you said, I think that Vince has seen it done with other small guys, and he might see the winds changing. I always bring this up, is that we're in the age of a Conor McGregor and Floyd Mayweather running the show for pretty much their brands and their sport. So if they go onto the Today Show and you see a Conor McGregor and Floyd Mayweather is the same height as the host, it's not such a bad look, because nowadays you can say this small guy can kick my ass still, probably. So I think image is not we're in a transition of like the smaller guys can run the show, and Adam Cole has everything. He checks all the boxes when it comes to
and
that.
I think what would kind of entice him a little bit more is if they're able to find him a little bit of muscle.
Absolutely, yeah.
And if they find someone that they can possibly attach him to where he can rub off his charisma on them and they can rub off that type of, threat with him, you know what I mean?
When they were bringing in Donovan, I thought they were going to add him to the group.
Now that I see Dijak get his ass whipped by Ricochet, I don't need him anywhere near Undisputed.
Yeah, I think that he's doing his own thing now. But I do think that Undisputed, like you said, needs a big guy to just round it out. And it'll be just like the classic, factions. And I love the way that they set it up. The Roddy turn was I didn't see that coming.
The Roddy turn was unbelievable. And Adam Cole's facial expressions with that, where he gets taken. He's taken out the match, of course, because he just went through a grueling ladder match, and he has to come out and defend the tag team championships with Kyle O'Reilly. They do a table spot where they take him out of the match. And Kyle works the whole match himself. And at the end, his music is playing. And he gets up and he's like, hey, Kyle, you did
it. You did it. He's like, you did it. Pointing at him. You did it. You did it.
You're the greatest of all time. I know I'm great.
And now I'm tag team champion.
But you're great.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
he's just so funny.
And then when Roddy, shows that, it wasn't Kyle, and then Adam faces like, what's going on?
First they're backing away from Roddy slowly, like, oh my god, is he like gonna attack us? He tries to grab Adam Cole, takes the armband on, and that's when they realize, holy shit, he's turned, he's on our side, and they just get super, obnoxious and calling each other and all that shit. It's how you perform. It's how you tell the story with your performance, and he does it every single time on beat. He hits the nail on his head, which is why I can say, yeah, he can definitely run the show. One day.
He can.
I'm glad they gave the title to him too, because I think he needed it.
He does need it. He does need championship again to validate, and hopefully we'll get to see him versus Gargano soon. I know they're probably gonna. I know Gargano's their guy for NXT to tell that complete story. Or he'll be champion. But hopefully once he becomes champion, Adam Cole is that antagonist.
Oh, yeah, that would be so good.
Give him a big time run before he goes up to the main roster. And then hopefully we'll get to see, man, Fox's Adam Cole, Ricochet, and Velveteen Dream.
On Fox on SmackDown, you mean?
Yeah. Hoping 2019, like, they done built these guys up to where they're superstars and where we can legitimately see them on Fox.
I wouldn't mind that. I would want to see one of these guys on Raw, because I think it's just stacking SmackDown up with really good. Because NXT is on another level right now. They always impress me, and right now there's so much talent in NXT. So yeah, you're gonna have to split that up. But Adam Cole just he steals the show when he's on screen, and his snarkiness, his promos, the NWO style, the image they're going for. I just fuck with it.
It's definitely an ode to all the things that remind us of because even like I said, I believe his opportunistic attitude is an ode to Edge. I believe the Bebe comes from Chris Jericho. I think Undisputed is obviously NWO, or it's a NXT. Invasion almost.
NXWO.
But I definitely do pay attention whenever he's on screen, whenever he's doing something. I make sure that I am keyed and locked in, because I know it's captivating. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Whenever he appears, it's like when you're watching a movie or when you're watching a television show.
Absolutely.
And that guy's going to be on that episode. You're going to tune in to watch that episode because that's just that character. That character is very intriguing.
He's a guy you love to hate.
He's a guy you love to love, man. Adam Cole is my guy.
But he's also a guy that a lot of people are going to love to hate, because just like back in the day, like when I would see Shawn Michaels, and I would like, because I was everybody. I'm a Brett fan. I'm Brett Mark, so I couldn't stand Shawn Michaels. Like he just was so obnoxious to me, but he was so talented and he was so good and so entertaining that I'm like, man, this guy's charming, man. And but there's something of it. He just you don't want to like the guy, so you want to see him, but you want to see his ass get handed to him, you know.
Until you start to just
And so you start to like him eventually, yeah. And I think that's what happened to me, where I was like, oh, every time I see you, you entertain me, you put a smile on my face, but you're a fucking prick, you know.
But you can't deny it. You can't deny it. You can't deny his talent. You can't deny his presence to be there. Like, you know, like I said, that spotlight, that stage is never too big for him.
So before we wrap this up, I want to let you guys know that we look at my girlfriend as a general audience viewer, and I think that getting her insight on the character was very, very insightful, because that's what a lot of people are going to be seeing when they see WWE for the first time. So I'm going to have you guys listen to a snippet of what my girlfriend Amelia thinks about Adam Cole. Hey, so Amelia, what do you like about Adam Cole so much?
I love how cocky he is and how confident he is. Like, he knows that everyone is thinking that he's just this fun-sized nigga.
Fun size. She said he's this fun-sized nigga.
You know, they look at him and they're like, oh, he's small. You know, he doesn't have the greatest body, whatever. He's not that muscular.
He's a decent body, but he's in shape.
But, like, compared to all the, like, a lot
Yeah,
of the
he's not a
guys
big
there,
dude.
he's not huge. You know? So they think they're gonna win the match, but then he has his strategies too. He's quick because he's smaller, obviously. So I like that about him. Also, he just looks good. He's good to look at.
Oh, okay. So he's dreamy. He's Mr. Dreamy over here. Okay.
His hair just looks wet 24/7.
Because it practically is wet before they come out. But when we were watching the ladder match a couple of months ago, out of all the 6 guys in the match, she picked Adam Cole to win. And I just was curious, why did she pick Adam Cole? You know, because he's the smallest guy in the match, and you know, I guess he just captivated her, and he captivated me as well. You know, no homo, but it's and I totally see why, you know, a general audience member like yourself would gravitate towards him.
And also, it seems like, I mean, he just never gives up. Like, he really gets his ass whooped sometimes.
Yeah.
And then ends up winning the match somehow.
Yeah.
You know,
he's a slimy sleazy bag dude.
And then he'll smile in your face.
Like, look how he walks out to the ring from the
look at him.
match.
He knows.
We're over here watching Takeover Philadelphia, is this?
No, New Orleans.
And look at his eyes. He is really dreamy. He's like a mini Thor.
Mini Thor. Here we go.
But yeah, he's amazing. I mean, I definitely want to see more of him, but that's how I feel about him at the moment.
All right. Well, there you have it. That's Millie's take on Adam Cole. Thank you.
Mini Thor.
So thank you very much for listening, and stay tuned.
Stay tuned. We'll be uploading episode 2.5. Bray Wyatt is our next character spotlight. He's both our favorite wrestling persona right now, and we're going to do a little bit of deep dive on his character. Maybe some fantasy booking of how we would like to have seen him be portrayed, and just why we think that character is so unique. So tune in next week, and hopefully you'll subscribe to us on YouTube and SoundCloud. So Reasonable Wrestling.
Add us on Twitter.
And follow us on Twitter at RW Podcast 1. So thank you. See you later.